Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share with you the April Block of the Month tutorial. So this month's block has lots of flying geese. I'm going to show you two different ways to make them, and you can choose whichever you like. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite tools also as we go through this, and I hope you'll enjoy making this month's fun block. Here's my little 6-inch version in the Christmas fabrics as well. And the 12-inch block has Happy Days fabrics. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started making the April block. This one is simply just 8 different flying geese units. And you can see from the 6-inch block that I already finished that we're going to make 4 of the flying geese units out of one fabric so that it creates kind of a pinwheel in the center. So with my Christmas 6-inch block, I used 4 different red prints, and then I used that same fabric for my little pinwheel center. And then I also used, you'll notice, a low volume background just to add a little bit more interest to the block. So I'm going to be using a solid background for my 12-inch block, but you could definitely use something like this for your 12-inch block. Okay, for the 12-inch block, I'm using this solid background. I'm going to use, well, actually the blocks that I'm going to be showing you have the small polka dots on aqua, but it would also look cute in this fabric. So you're going to be making 4 the same, and I'll be demonstrating with the aqua, and then 4 other different prints. And so I've got the coral, the red, the citrine, and the navy. So we'll be making 8 different flying geese units. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do it. I really like to use the Block Lock flying geese rulers, and there are 2 different sizes. I've got them linked in the description below. So for the large 12-inch blocks, you're going to want the 3-inch by 6-inch finished, and then for the 6-inch blocks, you're going to want the 1.5 by 3-inch finished. And so I do have links to both of these. I couldn't find them both in the same place right now. I think the smaller one I linked to on Amazon and the larger one on Fat Quarter Shop. But the method that I'm going to show you is going to be the same whether you use this or not. Just make sure that if you do use these, you will need to add a 1/4 inch in each direction to your pieces that you cut. So if you've already cut your pieces from the pattern with the download, you won't be able to use the ruler. Your pieces will be too small. But I'll go ahead and demonstrate both methods for making the blocks. Okay, so if you are just making the blocks the regular way, you'll want to take your rectangle and your square background fabric, and you'll put them right sides together, and you will want to take a ruler and a pencil. I love these sew line pencils, and just draw a diagonal line. And what you're going to do is you're going to sew just inside of that line. If you sew right on the line, sometimes it makes your piece a little bit too small. And so you want to sew just a thread over that line, not too far over the line either. So I've got one right here that I've already sewn, and that way when you go and you press it, the outer edges of that square will line up with the outer edges of your block. I'll head over to the ironing board and I'll press it, and then I'll come back and I'll trim that section off. Now I want to tell you, we're going to have a lot of trimming, and so you will have if you save those pieces and just keep them together, you can sew them together and you'll have quite a few half square triangles, especially with this larger 12-inch block that you can save. We might even be able to use them later in this project, but I've just sewed them while I was sewing my flying geese units, and so now I've got a little stack of these half square triangles. Okay, actually I have the next step ready, so but let me just show you the trimming. I take a ruler, I use 1/4 inch along where I've sewn. There's that extra half square triangle unit that I told you that we'll take over and sew. And then I will press this out and we'll put another fabric right sides together with it. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw that line. And once that line has been drawn and sewn, we can do the same thing. We can press out. I do like to press out before I trim these because I feel like there's just a little bit more stability in the piece if you press it first. That's actually a tip I learned from Joanna Figueroa when I was more of a beginner quilter. So I do keep this all together. I know a lot of people like to cut them all while they're like that to save time, but I've had really good luck with my accuracy by pressing first and then trimming. So I will go ahead and press these and sew these, and then I'll kind of show you how you finish it up regardless of which method you're using. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine. Let me just show you both methods. So if you're making your flying geese unit without any rulers and you've cut everything out just following the pattern instructions, after you've sewn that second square on, you will trim that off, the 1/4 inch. You'll have that you'll want to go sew, and you will have your perfect flying geese unit. Now if you are using the block lock ruler, there is another step. You're still going to trim and you will still have your half square triangle fabrics that you can still sew. But with this, there's another step, and because you've cut those pieces bigger to begin with, when you set the block lock ruler template on top of it, you will have some fabrics around the edge that you can trim off. And I usually trim 2 sides at a time. If you have a rotating mat, that can be super helpful. If not, just flip it around, line it back up. The grooves in this ruler will just nest right up against your seam allowance, and then trim the remaining 2 sides. Okay, so remember, you can only use these rulers if you cut your pieces 1/4 inch bigger each way. So for the 12-inch block, instead of cutting 3.5 by 6.5, you would cut 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, and that gives you that extra fabric that you need to use the block lock. And for the small block, instead of cutting 2 by 3.5, you'll cut 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 for your rectangles. And the same thing with the square fabrics. You'll need to add that additional 1/4 inch each way to those squares. So 3 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch squares for the large size, and 2 1/4 inch by, no, 3 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch squares for the large size, and 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 for the small. Okay, so once you've gone ahead and made all of your flying geese, you will make the 4 from the print fabrics that I mentioned earlier. And you'll have 4 that you make from the aqua. Now each aqua is going to get sewn together with a print fabric, and the aqua fabric is always going to go on the bottom. So I've got one of them sewn together, and I will go ahead, and what I usually do is I just lay them all out. Aqua is going to be on the bottom with the point of that pointing up towards the long unit of the print. So I'm just going to stack up my prints and stack up my aqua pieces. And I just want to show you one thing about this when you sew them. What you will want to do is sew with the bottom fabric on top, because by doing that you can make sure that your 1/4 inch seam does not go past that point. You don't want to cut off that point on that aqua flying geese unit. So if you always sew with that one on top, you'll be able to see that and make any adjustments as needed. So I'm going to line all of these up. Oh, I think I need to trim this one first. Line these up. That's been trimmed. And that's been trimmed. And I'll sew from this side. And I will trim this one and line it up, and I will go sew these and come right back. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine, and so at this point you'll have 4 flying geese units. The flying geese should all be pointing in the same direction, and your contrast will always be on the bottom. I just wanted to show you too, you will have 16 different half square triangles if you save all those pieces that you cut off and sew them together, and they really are a pretty good size. We'll save them like this, and I will make sure that if we can use them later for the blocks, that I will let you know what to trim them to at that point and where we can use them. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to use them, and if not, we'll make a fun label for the back of the quilt with this. Okay, so then the next thing you are going to do is just rotate every other block. So I just go counterclockwise and like that and like that, and just play around with it. I kind of like having the navy and the citrine kitty corner and the red and the coral kitty corner. Here it didn't matter, but I did kind of try to balance off my prints, you know, so anyway, just lay it out however you like it. You'll create the pinwheel in the center, and then you will just sew these 2 blocks together, these 2 blocks together. You're going to press toward the flying geese unit that has the long seam. That'll make it a little bit smoother. So you'll press this row there and this row here, and then we'll sew them together. I'll go ahead and do all that, and then I'll show you the back so you can get a look of the back of the block. Okay, back from the sewing machine. The block is all put together. I love how it turned out. I just wanted to show you that I did press all of those flying geese pairs up toward the long bottom of the top unit. But for my side seams, I pressed also toward that so that it'd be really flat. But in the middle, it really didn't really matter. You had, you know, this side would have been flatter had you pressed it this way and this one the opposite. Some people trim right here in the middle and press one seam one way and one seam the other. I just pressed it open, and I feel like I got a nice and flat seam. So that's how you make the April block of the month. Okay, that's it for the April block of the month. Lots of flying geese today. And if you save those leftovers, you'll have a nice selection of half square triangles as well. I will link the tools in the description below. You will also need to go to my blog to download the free PDF pattern. So you can do that. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. Hit the like and the subscribe button. And thanks so much for stopping by.